Joining us now on the phone, the governor of the state of New Jersey, Christie. Governor, what is your primary job today?
Well, John, first off, it's to ensure that those people who were injured get taken quickly to local hospitals to get the care that they need. We've done that and had great assistance from Jersey City Medical Center and the Point Care Hospital in Hoboken, and we are having those people attended to. Next is to coordinate the investigation into the accident. And our state attorney general is taking the lead on this, along with the NTSB and the Federal Railway Administration. And they've already been in contact and are coordinating those efforts. And third is to deal with how folks will be commuting home this afternoon. The stability of the station in Hoboken is currently being evaluated by engineers. And so we're looking at whether that station will be able to be used, or if not, what are the alternatives for the people who have to get to Hoboken this afternoon for their commute. All the other rail service at this time seems like it will be fine and unaffected, but we are examining all that, coordinating that inspection with engineers from both the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and New Jersey Transit. Lastly, I've been in touch with Governor Cuomo. A number of these passengers are folks from New York State that originated as a train in New York State. And Governor Cuomo and I have been already in discussions this morning, and we'll be working together the rest of the day to make sure that the response is coordinated, not only for the victims and their families, but also for the folks who will need to be commuting home on both sides of the river this afternoon.
I'm not certain whether you heard it. We were just speaking with John Hyatt, who's a former engineer and a railroad safety railroad board investigator. He said, you know, infrastructure is a real problem, and there ought to be more money spent on safety devices on trains like this. You're the top guy in New Jersey. State budgets are always tight. How do you prioritize? I mean, does more money need to be spent on fail-safe devices in cases, or, you know, on train lines?
Well, listen, we can't jump to any conclusions about the cause yet of this accident. And so I think it would be irresponsible for me to comment on it in the context of this accident. What I will say is that safety is a top priority at New Jersey Transit, and that we spend the money that we need to spend to make sure that our rail passengers each and every day have a commute that is first and foremost safe. But we're going to take a hard look at what happened in this accident and then make determinations from a policy perspective after we get the cause of the accident.
Governor Christie, this is Heather Childers.
Hi, Heather.
Hi. We're reporting that at least one person has died, possibly others, many people in critical condition. Is there any sort of hotline or something set up for people so they can get some more information if they think that someone they know was on the train and they were not able to get in touch with them?
Well, Heather, what the best thing for them to do is there's only been 2 hospitals where the victims have been taken. As I said earlier, Jersey City Medical Center and Point Care Hospital in Hoboken. I think for any family members who are concerned, contacting those hospitals directly about loved ones is the most efficient way to go. If you're a family member, they'll give you that information. And so if you call Jersey City Medical Center or Point Care Hospital in Hoboken, those are the 2 facilities that EMS has removed any victims to. You're right, there's one confirmed fatality, and we're hoping that that's all there will be. But all the victims are being cared for in one of those 2 hospitals at this time.
I know that you get the first reports of the first responders. Have there been any issues, any problems reported so far with the ability of rescue crews to get to those people who were trapped, or to get to those on the platforms? No,
the great news is, John, that New Jersey Transit police report that EMS came to the scene immediately, and other first responders from the local area. They worked seamlessly. Everyone, we believe, who was in the train has been removed. There's no one that we know of at this time that is trapped. And those people were triaged at the site and then sent to one of the 2 hospitals I mentioned earlier. And so I think, at least from what we know at this point, this was a really seamless, professional bit of law enforcement activity at the scene and first responder EMS activity. And I'm certain that that will contribute to a better result for all of those who were victims.
Back in 2011, a train crashed into the bumpers there at the same station, actually on Mother's Day of 2011. About 34 or so injuries in that particular case. were there any extra precautions that you know of put in place as a result of that?
You know, Heather, I don't think that the two are related, except for having been at the same station. It seems to be two very different type of occurrences. But again, let's wait for the NTSB, the FRA, and the State Attorney General's office to complete their investigation before we draw any conclusions or any connections to previous incidents. Right now, it does not seem to be something that's a consistent issue or problem, but we're going to take a look at what the investigation tells us and not jump to any conclusions prematurely.
There is one fatality, as we have mentioned, a woman, we understand, but to put the hopeful spin on a terrible situation, from the sounds of what you're telling us, because so many of the badly wounded already are in hospitals, we might hope, maybe even expect, that the death toll will not climb significantly.
We of course, John, we pray that it doesn't. We're very hopeful that it won't, but they're now in the hands of the medical professionals at those two hospitals, and we feel like they're in good hands. And so that's what we can hope for and pray for those families and the victims. But the good news is that they were transported as quickly as possible to get the medical care and attention that they needed. And I'm very proud of the law enforcement and first responders who got there quickly and, as your previous guest said, ran to the problem and helped people very, very quickly. And the fact that this accident has already seen all of the folks that were trapped, evacuated, and those who needed medical attention sent to a hospital is a real tribute to those men and women.
Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, John. Heather, thank you very much.